Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Chris here, and I'm coming back to you with another video to help you get prepared for Title Update 4 and the new Elder Dragon coming with it, Gogmazios. Now, since the last couple of videos, and especially on my stream, I get asked the question a lot. What would you recommend I do in order to prepare for Gogmazios? What am I going to need? So, I've come up with 10 useful yet fundamental steps you can take between now and December the 16th in order to ensure that you're ready to take on what could potentially be the hardest fight in Monster Hunter Wilds to date. So, without further ado, let's get on with these tips because I don't want to waste your time. I'm sure you're eager to hear what advice I have to give you. Number 1, you're gonna need to get to HR 100 if you haven't done so already. Now, Capcom says HR 100 is the quest entry point, but I would say just because you're HR 100, it doesn't mean you have to rush into Gogmazios straight away. There are far more important things to do than just getting your hunter rank up to that level. So, whilst this is the level required, I wouldn't say it's the recommended level. Given a lot of the other things I'm going to recommend on this list that you do, you probably want to be a little bit higher. Spend a little bit of time investing in, well, basically doing the steps that I'm going to list here, which will probably take you beyond HR 100 because some of these steps you can only initiate at HR 100. So, step number 2. You've got HR 100. What should you be focusing on? Well, get yourself a full good setup, a nice good build. I'm not talking about weapons just yet. For now, we're just going to focus on the armor. So, my recommendations, obviously we don't know exactly what to expect with Gogmazios, but you can't really go wrong with a good old 3-piece, 2-piece setup on a lot of builds. So, what I mean by that is 3 pieces of Gamma armor, so that can be a mix and match of Raidao, New Udra, and Ufduna, and then 2 pieces of another set with a benefit that is something that you want. It could be something like 2-piece Lagiacrus, 2-piece Gore Magala, 2-piece Ebony Odo, 2-piece Fulguranjanath, etc. You get the idea. You should know, ideally, by the time you reach HR 100, what skills are going to be good for your weapon and your build. So using that knowledge, hopefully you'll be able to put yourself a good setup together. The reason why the Lord Souls bonus is going to be especially good, it gives you Guts, which is not only a damage bonus, but a one-time savior from getting one shot. Now, obviously, if Gogmazios Fire Blights you, you're probably going to need fire resistance in order to stop that one shot from taking effect. But again, we'll have to wait and see because we're not entirely sure what Gogmazios is going to be capable of in this game. But those are just some thoughts, some things for you to go on. If you actually want a real set, a real build for your specific weapon, I have max builds for every single weapon that I can provide on my stream live to you. So definitely take the time to stop by the Twitch channel. Quick little sneaky promo there. If you need something specific or you want my direct help and advice, I'll be more than happy to give it. Step number 3, you're going to upgrade that armor. Okay? That armor should be maxed or as close to max as you can afford. This is going to take a while. It takes quite a bit of time to get armor spheres. Capcom have provided some good event quests where you can get them, so definitely take a look into that. Of course, the 9-star and 8-star quests also give a nice healthy amount of heavy and hard armor spheres, so you should probably be doing these things already. Make sure you're saving up the armor spheres as well because, of course, we have the Transcendent armor system that's going to be launched with Gogmazios, and you're probably going to need quite a lot of armor spheres to get that stuff upgraded. And hey, the advice that I'm giving you now, it might even be more relevant, especially on those Rarity 6 armors like the ones that I mentioned earlier, Ebony Odogaron and Fulguranjanath, because those set bonuses are really good. They're about to get even better when that armor gets transcended, so definitely bear that in mind. Get that armor upgraded, farm those armor spheres, get a nice big stack of them together, guys. It's going to help you a hell of a lot. Yeah, I would say, given how hard Savage Omega was, assuming Gogmazios is going to be around the same power level at HR 100, it's a safe bet that you're going to want above 400 defense. Do not, as much as you might be tempted, do not socket in defense boost 7 into your armor to boost your defense. Try getting your armor upgraded, and then if you really need that extra defense, I definitely recommend considering either elemental resistance skills or divine blessing. It's just a lot more slot efficient, and if you do need any quality of life skills on the level 1 armor slots, you'll be able to fit those in as well, okay? Right, now, this is something that not a lot of people usually consider, but number 4, I have talked about it in previous videos, but I still see people using mega potions and potions on end game fights. Guys, get yourself a good inventory. Now, what do I mean by good inventory? Obviously, you want your power talents, your armor talents. I think it's definitely worth making good use of mega demon drugs, might seeds, and demon powder as well. Now, if you still feel like your defense is a little bit low, you can always take mega armor skins. Of course, it does get a bit expensive with nourishing extracts, but Capcom have given you the ability to get those through the bowling minigame. So, you can get bowling. Remember, you can get bowling tickets from the Argosy in the desert camp as well. If you set your gathering to tradable items, he'll bring them to you in stacks of 10, and then of course you can use those to get yourself your nourishing extracts. Other things to consider in a good inventory are going to be dash juices for heavy stamina use weapons, immunizer for good recovery options. Now, obviously, if you want to get your health back, max potions and ancient potions with the stuff to craft them, especially if you're going in solo, that's going to be the king of heals. If you run out of heals, hopefully there'll be an option for you to go back to camp and restock. I wouldn't overburden yourself with low tier heals. And then, of course, if you're in group play, the king of all healing items, the Dust of Life. Everyone should have Dust of Life. Everyone should have the things to craft them. They are essentially a mega potion with wide range 5 and speed eating all built into them. And they're just brilliant. They're excellent. They're not expensive to get at all. You can get them from your Natter farm. So I highly, highly, highly recommend them. Yeah, so definitely get your inventory in order. Make sure you organize it. Make sure you get at least the items that I've recommended. Of course, if there's any specialist items like Nullberry that we might end up needing, or indeed antidote powders or something like that, then we'll bring those as well. But I'm not entirely sure what new attacks they may or may not have given GOG, so we'll just have to wait and see. But as a general inventory, the items that I just recommended to you should be pretty damn good. Now, we talked about the armors. Point 5, let's get on to the weapons. And we're going to start with the dragon weapons. Now, dragon weapons were actually quite lucky, because as a baseline, I think the Zoshia weapons across the board, or some of the Arkveld weapons, if you're on something like bow or hunting horn, should be really solid for this particular fight. Now, of course, if you can get an Artian dragon weapon and you want to get an Artian dragon weapon for those extra slots and potentially higher stats, then by all means get rolling away and make sure you get those weapons. But don't go too crazy, because remember, the Artian weapon system is subject to change with Title Update 4. So we don't know exactly all the ins and outs of how the rerolls and things are going to work. So, well, if we're even going to get rerolls, as I was talking about in my previous video here on the channel. So, be careful. Don't go for like a god roll, but do invest if you're going to do an Artian dragon weapon. I'd probably say around 2 sharpness or 1 sharpness and 2 attack as a bare minimum. That's kind of what I think we want to look at. And again, we might even have a really heavy elemental hit zone on Gogmazios where it's better to get the element rolls. So it's not entirely sure, you know, what you want to go for right now. So bear that in mind. I think so long as you've got something solid, again, maybe like 2 attack, maybe 1 element, or 2 element, 2 attack, with as long as you've got that 1 sharpness, I think that should be okay. But if you're not sure what you want with your Artians, remember, you've got the Zoshia weapons, you've got the Arkveld weapons. I think they should be good for your dragon weapon. And this leads me into number 6. You're going to want a fire weapon as well. So for those of you who don't know, Capcom have already confirmed that Gogmazios is essentially going to work where he has a mantle that needs to be eroded away utilizing fire weapons. And once it has been removed, you then use dragon weapons to hit whatever's underneath. And that's going to do effective damage. So you're going to want a fire weapon as well. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with fire. We don't have a good option like Zoshir for an endgame fire weapon. Essentially, the best thing we really have going for them is Rathalos weapons, which are fine, but Gogmazios is going to be potentially harder than Savage Omega, which means you're really going to want to roll, an Artian weapon. So if you have to roll anything before Gogmazios comes out, I would focus those materials on the fire weapon. Now, I should probably say this is kind of what you want to be doing when you're doing Artian rolls, because I see a lot of people making this mistake recently, certainly on my stream. You're going to want 3 Artian components for your weapon of choice that all have attack on them and fire on them. Try and stay clear of the affinity with the fire ailment on them. Now, the reason I say this is because that way it gives you a bit more leeway. If you roll 1 affinity and 2 attack and 1 sharpness on the randomly generated stuff, you're still going to have a good baseline raw value, which will then, of course, roll into the multiplier when you're critting on the monster. So that will give you a higher max hit and a higher crit. So what you want to be aiming for, ideally, is, 215 to 220 raw and then a sharpness. Obviously, if you get a god roll with the 4 sharpness, 4 attack, 1 sharpness, can you imagine? Bloody hell, 4 sharpness. Oh my goodness. Sharpness for days, chat. Yeah, that's basically what you want to be doing. So try and get a 1 sharpness 4 attack, or as close to it as you can. I would say if you get 1 sharpness with 2 attack, you're probably pretty good. I think that will be enough. But if you get better than that, keep it. Make sure you add it to your favorites by hitting the square button on your controller. That's for your fire Artians, guys. So yeah, hopefully you can get that sorted too. And then on to number 7. Kind of already covered it here, but try and get those good rolls. That's basically what I've already covered. But that was my 7th point, is to try and get better rolls. But again, don't overcommit. Don't overcommit, because those Artian materials, if we do end up getting the reroll function, I really want to preface this, Capcom have said nothing about it, but I'm hoping that we get it. So if we do, that's going to be really, really good, guys. And you're going to want to have as many Artian components saved up. So I guess point number 7 would be farm up Artian materials. A lot of us have spent so much time farming the 9-star monsters and getting all of our talismans as of late that we haven't really been farming the Artian weapons. So yeah, you know what? Point 7, get yourself a lot of Artian materials, because hey, we're going to be upgrading pretty quick once you've beaten Gogmazios a few times. You're going to want to be re-rolling and getting those set bonuses and group bonuses on your Artian weapons. So having a ton of materials, Orichalcite, and of course all of the different dragon and fire parts to improve your weapons to farm Gogmazios is going to be extremely important. So get a nice big stockpile going, and hey, you can go back and fight some 8-star monsters, which honestly, when you've been fighting the 9 stars and Savage Omega, they're super chill now, guys. You can get them done really quick. And of course, a lot of these monsters are now available in the arena, where they weren't before. So have some fun with it, see what quests you can get. Hopefully you can get some efficient stuff. Remember, there is the event quest with the Ebony Odor Garen at HR 41 that does give you Artian components. And if you use a lucky voucher on it, my friends and I have found that you get an average of about 7 Artian parts every time you do it with a lucky voucher, and 3.5 without. So yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty efficient. You can get it done in, oh man, literally a minute and a half with a decent team, especially if you're bringing some water element weapons and you've got your dragon resistance on. So maybe give that a go if you're needing to farm Artian weapons really, really quickly. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not the best. Obviously, you can get more efficient investigations, but it's pretty solid. I'd recommend you give it a go. Which leads me into point number 8. Now, this one, it's a little bit contentious, and I could see people disagreeing with it, because you can craft them, but I would say try and get some good talismans for your weapon of choice. What I mean by that is, if you're on a switch axe, try and get a power prolonger 3. If you're on a charge blade, try and get a magazine decoration. If you're talisman. If you're playing longsword, maybe try and get a a razor sharp or a master's touch. That's good on quite a few weapons. Any specific element talismans, I guess they're going to have less value, actually, element talismans this time around, because depending on what weapon you're rolling, it's only going to be valuable on one of the weapons. So definitely getting some kind of sharpness management. Potentially Mind's Eye might be useful on Gogmazios. We don't exactly know the hit zones yet, but something to consider. Mind's Eye level 3 as a talisman might be good. If you're on Lance, Offensive Guard, if you're on Gun Lance, Artillery, these are the kind of talismans you kind of want to be looking for. Of course, if you don't get an efficient talisman from the rarity, from the 9-star fights, I wouldn't worry too much. I honestly wouldn't. Remember, we can craft Latent Power 3, Maximum Might 3, Agitator 2, Wex 2, and given that probably Arch-Tempered Jindaad is just around the corner, I'm going to guess we're going to be able to get Agitator 3 as a talisman, which will be incredibly good as a baseline talisman, like exceptionally good. I'd say it's going to be better than 90% of the talismans that you're getting on your grind right now. So I wouldn't stress too much if the talisman farm doesn't give you the RNG that you need. But if you're unsure whether or not your talisman is good or not for your build, again, I'm live Monday to Friday, 7 PM GMT over on Twitch, to 2 AM GMT on Twitch. You can find me on the Twas by Design channel. Just ask me. You know, you can always join the lobby. I host open lobbies. I'll have a look at your build for you if I get the time, and I'll let you know if the talisman that you've got is any good. And it probably is. You know, trust your gut instinct. If it's good, it's good. And if it's not good, it really doesn't matter. Again, you can craft excellent talismans. And who knows what kind of specialist skills we're going to need, and what other talismans may end up being extremely useful. So, yeah, bear that in mind. Now, number 9. This one, it's not like a necessity, I guess, tip number 9. But I would recommend finding yourself some teammates for GOG. I know a lot of you guys really struggled with Savage Omega, and a lot of you were trying to play with randoms, which is admirable, especially if you're helping in the SOS. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't help people in the SOS, but I know a lot of you guys felt like you were beating your head against a brick wall, getting extremely frustrated trying to do Savage Omega in public matches. What I would highly recommend you do is find some friends, find some teammates, or they don't even necessarily have to be friends, but just like-minded hunters. There's so many forums and communities and places that you can get yourself involved in now. There are fantastic streamers live, such as Viseri, and even myself. I do open lobbies on a daily basis. In fact, we both do, and there's other streamers as well out there that would be more than happy to like integrate you into the community, bring you in, help teach you a thing or two, and even help you get your hunts done. And you'll meet tons of fantastic hunters in these communities that can help you get these harder hunts done. I'm kind of under the assumption right now that Savage Omega is going to be a little bit easier than Gogmazios potentially, because sort of referring back to a very old quote that was made back in the Fatalis era of Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. The devs didn't want to have a collaboration monster be the strongest monster in the game. So Extreme Behemoth was sort of superseded by Elatrion and Fatalis, and I think we're going to have that scenario again. I don't think the Monster Hunter devs will want to have a Final Fantasy boss be the final hurdle of Monster Hunter, and I do very much believe that Gogmazios is going to come and test us all again. So get some teammates together, get practicing, get synergizing, work together, learn what your teammates are good at, learn what your teammates are bad at, and help each other improve at the game together, because it's more fun than just practicing by yourself. And if there's any weaknesses within your own playstyle or the things that you're doing, if you have some honest and open hunter friends, they can help you, they can, help teach you. And make you better as well, far more so than I can just in this one simple video giving you some basic tips. So I definitely recommend and implore you guys to try doing that. Now, this kind of comes into point 10, and it probably goes without saying, but I think a lot of people haven't played Monster Hunter Wilds in a while they're going to be extremely rusty. So point number 10 probably applies to them, but I think you should practice, guys. I think you should practice. I think you shouldn't be afraid of failure. I've learned it myself through many, many hunts, where, especially when you're trying to solo things. You fail a lot, you know. Savage Omega, you fail a lot. Fatalis, when you're trying to solo it, you fail a lot. Risen Gore Magala, Primordial Malzeno, Alatrion, you fail at these quests, and there's nothing wrong, because each time, even though it doesn't feel necessarily like you're making progress when you're failing, you're getting better at the hunt. You're learning how to deal with these moves. You're learning what not to do. You know, really pay attention and observe your own mistakes, and be self-critical of the things that you're doing wrong on these hunts, and you will become a much better hunter. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out there and like solo Savage Omega or anything like that, but if you do have a group of friends together and you know what you're comfortable with and you know what you're not comfortable with, try and put yourself out of your comfort zone. Fight those monsters that you're not particularly good at, and it will probably help open up some new combos for you, some new counters, some new strategies. Some of which won't be applicable to the fight of Gogmazios, I'm sure. But some of the skills that you pick up whilst fighting some of those tougher fights and things that you're not particularly comfortable with, I'm sure they will. And I think in the long run, that will ultimately help you have a much smoother time defeating Gogmazios. Because, like I said, I think he's going to be pretty tough. I think I'm going to I'm going to have a bit of a hard time fighting myself. I will probably try soloing him, but I don't even know if he's going to be possible to solo at launch. He could be exceedingly hard. It could be a Ancient Leshen situation where I just can't solo him. No matter how hard I try, I just can't get it done at launch. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But whatever he presents us with, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And I think it's a simple bit of advice, but something I think some of you guys might want to do. So if you haven't played Wilds in a bit, you know, try and get on the weekend, play for like an hour or two, warm yourself up. That way, when you come back on Gogmazios' launch day, the game's not going to feel completely alien to you, and you won't get too frustrated playing in either public lobbies, especially if you do manage to find some teammates, get some friends together. You'll all be practiced, fresh, and ready to go, and give it your best shot. But hey, who knows? Maybe Gogmazios will be super easy. I hope not, but maybe he will be. Maybe it'll be an easy go. But anyway, that wraps it up, guys. That is 10 tips on how I think you're going to want to deal with getting ready for Gogmazios. I know to some of you guys, all of this is obvious. To some of you, you've already done all of this already. But perhaps if you're a returning player, you haven't played in a while, and you've heard about the fact that Title Update 4 is also going to come with some really good performance improvements, and hey, the game might actually run really well for you, and you're getting back into it, hopefully some of these tips on this video will help you to succeed in your endeavors of beating Gogmazios, and perhaps just help you get a better build together and whatnot. I don't know. But if you do need any direct help and advice, as I've already said in the video, please feel free to come join me on Twitch live Monday to Friday. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to have a chat. And if I can help you and make you a better hunter, then that would be excellent. I wish you all the best of luck. We've only got a month until Gogmazios now. Not even a month. So let's see how it goes. So on that note, guys, much love. Take care of yourselves out there. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you on the stream. If you did enjoy the video today, leave us a comment down below. Let me know if any of this was helpful, or if there's any other tips you can share with the community. Definitely use the comment sections to share them. I'm sure there's many things that I've forgotten to say. And hey, consider hitting the like button. It does help us out a lot. Share the video with your friends. You know, I'm only a small content creator here, so if you like this stuff and it gets around and we get more views, hey, I might do more of it in the future. Again, apologies for the style of this video. I'm still, you know, unscripted, just sort of a ramble, but hopefully it helps. Hopefully there's some kind of useful information in there for you. All right, much love, guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next stream. Au revoir. This is not a good place to be fighting Gore with longsword, let me tell you. I want to fight more in the open. Oh my god, it worked! Oh my god, the focus strike actually hit. Oh, can you imagine, chat? Oh shit, that's not good. I don't really like fighting you here, Gore. I'm going to be honest with you, mate. Okay, he's leaving. I'm kind of happy about that. I don't want to be fighting him right here on this ledge. Oh, hello. Lovely jubbly. Just call me frickin' Pebo. Oh shit. Oh. Oh my god, dude. Dude, oh, you messed up. That sucks. I keep thinking he's gonna do the bite and then he does that. Should just be eye slashing, honestly. Where's he going? There we go. That's better move RNG. Oh, wow, okay. Perfect. Oh, he's done. Wow. That wasn't bad, was it? That went quite good. We played that well. We had a little bit of a slip up there, but that was going good. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, Anna, I'm doing all right. Just the Monster Hunter servers are not having a good day. That was pretty damn good.
Woo!